Dave Mustaine with Larry Myers and Damon Bradshaw setting the pace in Supercross competition for the second week in a row. There is runner-up Jean-Michel Bayle. Integral clock back to third and fourth place. Jeff Stanton 8.2 seconds behind with Guy Cooper hot on his heels and the closest thing we've had to a race tonight. And I think a race that may be affecting Jeff Stanton somewhat.
I'm certain you're right. The clock is a little on the receiving side there because if Bradshaw was caught up in some traffic, actually they've not been that close to him. Now, Jeff Stanton's philosophy has always been, don't worry about the other guy. Ride your own race, charge to the front. Now, he's worried about Guy Cooper. You'll see him. He looks over his shoulder. He tries to block the lines of Cooper, and he's wasting time doing that, Dave.
As a result, he is back in third and not mounting any kind of challenge to Jean-Michel Bayle. And it is indeed an un-Stanton-like performance that we have seen here tonight. I think it's been an un-Stanton-like season, as you
Well, it has. We're only, 3 events in, but certainly he is not performing as we have seen him perform in the past. He's just not that aggressive guy. The fire isn't there.
That flag for the lap riders as the Stanton and Cooper freight train comes rolling through. Trying to do something with the runaway leaders in this race. Damon Bradshaw up front, and second place Jean-Michel Bayle. There is a look at Bradshaw. Reminds me a little bit of Bob Hurricane Hanna, who rode Yamahas at about the same stage in his career. A lot of things have changed in the many years since
Many.
We're going to give the Hurricane an opportunity now to tell us about some of the things that are different in the sport of motocross.
Back when my father outfitted me to go riding in the early 60s, the gear was a little bit different. Small leather boots barely over the ankles, a good set of Levi's, your favorite flannel shirt, a half-shell fiberglass helmet, and about the best you could do for goggles was a good squint. Nowadays, it's a lot different. We've got goggles with Lexan lenses, up to 10 tear-offs of bad conditions. We've got helmets with full coverage protection made out of carbon graphite. We've got shoulder pads, chest protectors, elbow pads built into the jerseys, gloves with pads on the outside and the inside of the palm for rider protection. We've got leathers with padded thighs, knee cups, shin guards, boots made a combination of plastic and leather for rider protection, cups in the ankles, and good cups over the toes. As you can see, the rider protection has come a long ways in 30 years.
I can just envision Bob. Can't you not see him riding across the desert or over a triple jump in those little tiny boots and a flannel shoe and a pair of blue jeans?
I'd like to have that flannel shirt for one of those memorabilia auctions. You can be a rich man. As we watch the battle for fourth here, Jeff Stanton working his way through the back markers. Number 2, lapping traffic. Guy Cooper's been sitting back there 6 or 7 bike lengths behind. See the little bobble for Cooper. Just can't quite get the momentum that he needs to make a charge at Jeff Stanton. And so there have been remarkably few passes here. The running order, Bradshaw, Bayle, and Stanton. Stanton says you better get used to that.
What you see here now is what's going to be here for a while, I truly believe. There's not anybody really pounding on JMB and Damon and myself. Not anybody really pounding on the door real heavily. So I feel what you see is what you're going to get for a while.
Okay, I've got no problem with that. I like seeing Damon Bradshaw, Jean-Michel Bayle, Jeff Stanton. I just like to see them a little closer together, Larry.
I think we all would. Jeff Stanton needs to look over his shoulder, too, before he makes statements like that, because the last time I looked, breathing down his neck, very close to that rear wheel, was Guy Cooper. So there was some new blood, and I'm sure from time to time we'll see it crop up. Blue flag is waving. That means get out of the way. A freight train is coming through. They do that for the benefit of the riders that are about to lap other riders.
Late in the race like this, nobody's going to make a charge for position. Stanton knows he's stuck with third, and Bayle is going to be content with second because nobody can catch Damon Bradshaw. So Bradshaw can sit there on the cruise control, and he, in fact, has backed off the pace a little bit. Cooper is really the only guy out there charging.
And he has been charging since the drop of the gate, and several times he came close. But Damon Bradshaw, he's just charging more than anyone right now.
Bradshaw leads it as the laps begin to wind down here at Anaheim. Bayle, Stanton, Cooper, and Kudrowski. We'll be right back. We're back in Anaheim, California. The laps winding down. Damon Bradshaw en route to his second straight Supercross win of the year. Big difference from the slow start that he got last year.
Last year didn't start off real good for me. I changed mechanics. I had some different mechanics, some changes at the factory, and we finally got all those things ironed out, and now everything's perfect. I got all the tools, the right tools, and it's a matter of going out and doing the job now.
Well, he is certainly doing the job tonight. You got just a glimpse of Mike LaRocco stalled back there on the racetrack. Orlando winner having tough luck tonight. And now, here is Mickey Diamond also in trouble as his motorcycle has stalled. No problems for Damon Bradshaw. En route to career victory number... Quick, Larry.
10 on his career and 2 for the season, Dave.
2 in a row on the season as he heads into the final lap. Just to give you an idea of how thoroughly he has dominated this race, there's the interval back to number 1, Jean-Michel Vail. And we will park here a while waiting for the third place man. You talked about Jeff Stanton at the top of the show, just not in the thick of it at all here tonight. There goes Stanton in third, and he has opened up now a big gap over Guy Cooper, number 5, after those spectacular moves early, has decided to let him go. And I have to confess, Larry, those 63,000 people have all sat down now. The drama's pretty well over with here.
Pretty much unfolded. It's been a wire-to-wire thing for Damon Bradshaw, but fans have been treated to some superb riding. And there was just a quick glimpse of Bader Monet. He certainly had his problems here today. A couple of good starts, but not such a good finish. Damon Bradshaw, it's been all his, and he is still looking strong. He's not slowed down a bit.
Anna said somebody was going to break out of the pack tonight. That somebody is number 4, Damon Bradshaw. Now just a lap from the checkered flag and totally dominating this evening's performance.
I could go back to the quick Damon Bradshaw story. Dave, remember when Bradshaw was riding a 65cc motorcycle down in Florida, had absolutely no sponsors. At that time, I worked for a company called High Point Racing Products, and I can proudly say that I saw this coming, and I grabbed hold of Damon Bradshaw and sponsored him some boots and pants. Actually, I did it as a favor to another friend, as Bradshaw feeling the effects now of last lap. The white flag syndrome will show off a little bit for the crowd. But this guy has been tremendous. Great amateur career, many national championships, and looks like now that pro career is starting to come into his own.
Well, Larry, I hope you don't think he's going to split the money with you tonight. He is en route to an even greater series point lead. Should be up around 13 by the time this evening is done. We'll check that after the checkered flag. The big story, I think, is the question, can anybody beat Damon Bradshaw? The way he's riding tonight, the answer would have to be no. Bradshaw has won his second straight and second of 3 in the 1992 season.